Jessica Pegula, reflecting on an amazing tournament at the 2026 Australian Open. In the heart of Melbourne Park, amid the sultry summer heat and the roar of passionate tennis fans, Jessica Pegula wrote one of the most compelling chapters of her career at the 2026 Australian Open. It wasn't just her results, although those were historic in their own right, but the poise, growth, resilience, and self-awareness she showed through every swing of the racket, every challenge, every moment of self-reflection. This tournament was not just about advancing rounds. It was about affirmation, identity, and the artistry of competition at the highest level. Pegula entered this year's Australian Open as the number 6 seed, a world top 10 player who had long been riding consistent results across the WTA Tour but still chasing a defining Grand Slam breakthrough. While she had come close before, undeniably, the semi-final at the 2025 US Open being a career highlight, Melbourne had remained a place where the quarters were familiar territory, but the Final Four was historically elusive. In 2026, that all changed. According to Pegula herself, the tournament was amazing, a statement that resonates deeper the more one unpacks her journey in Australia. The journey begins, Melbourne and momentum. Pegula's Australian Open started with a confident display in the early rounds. Her first match in the main draw saw her ease past her opponent with clinical precision, showcasing not just her physical readiness but mental focus. From the outset, Pegula was not here to merely participate. She was here to compete, to send a message that her game had matured into something both recognizable and formidable. In the second and third rounds, she continued to demonstrate a sharp awareness of court conditions and opponent tendencies. She moved fluidly, striking the ball with depth and intention. Every point was measured, every rally approached with calculated aggression. It was clear from these matches that Pegula's confidence was growing, and her trademark consistency, the foundation of her rise into the world's elite, was in full force. But perhaps nothing encapsulated the spirit of her early Australian Open rise better than her fourth-round meeting with Madison Keys, the defending champion. Keys, a peer and close friend with whom Pegula co-hosts the Players Box podcast, brought an added emotional layer to the encounter. Their friendship and professional rivalry converged on Rod Laver Arena in a match that was as psychologically nuanced as it was athletic. Ultimately, Pegula prevailed in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, a commanding performance that saw the defending champion's reign in Melbourne brought to an end. Beyond the scoreline, this victory was a milestone for Pegula. Beating a fellow American and a major champion, someone she respects not just as a competitor but as a friend, highlighted her growing competitive maturity. Her embrace with Keys at the net was respectful, warm, and emblematic of the camaraderie that often exists at the top levels of women's tennis, even amidst fierce competition. It was a result that reverberated across the tennis world and one that Pegula described as a key highlight in what was unfolding to be an amazing tournament. Breaking barriers, a first Australian Open semi-final. After ousting Keys, Pegula marched into the quarterfinals against another American, Amanda Anisimova. It was yet another high-stakes match rooted in deep familiarity, with both players understanding each other's games intimately. This time, Pegula asserted herself early, dominating the opening set and maintaining a strong presence throughout. She clinched the victory in straight sets, 6-2, 7-6, 1, marking a historic achievement as she reached her first Australian Open semi-final. For Pegula, reaching the semi-final was more than another notch on her resume. It was a breakthrough on a surface and stage she had long tried to conquer. The achievement reflected not just technical skill, but mental resilience, a quality that had been polished over years of competing against the sport's best on every surface. This run wasn't accidental. It was the product of strategic adjustments, guided preparation, and an unwavering belief in her capacity to go deep in a major. In her post-match press interactions, Pegula was candid about her pride, tempered with a realistic view of her own performance. She spoke about how well she felt she'd played throughout the tournament and of the confidence she had built by repeatedly defeating world-class opponents. Despite the results, she also acknowledged that the taste of victory in the semifinals was bittersweet, highlighting one of the beautiful ironies of elite sports. You can both celebrate achievements and yearn for even more. The semifinal, peak challenge and reflection. In the semifinal, Pegula faced Elena Rybakina, a powerful and tactically astute competitor known for her big serve and calm under pressure. The match was a showcase of contrasting styles. Pegula's all-court precision and movement versus Rybakina's raw power and shot-making. The contest was competitive and intense, with Pegula fighting valiantly but ultimately falling 6-3, 7-6, 9-7. While the loss meant she would not advance to her first Australian Open final, Pegula's perspective afterward illuminated why this tournament was so amazing for her. In post-match discussions, she pointed out that she had battled hard, stayed in contention, and, perhaps most importantly, felt her level improving. Her candid assessment wasn't about lamenting missed opportunities, but about acknowledging growth and areas for further refinement. She admitted that parts of her game weren't at their very best during certain stretches, but she also expressed satisfaction with how far she had come and how she had consistently held her own against top competition. This type of self-reflection is rare at the elite level. Many players, especially in defeat, focus solely on what went wrong. Pegula chose to elevate the narrative, speaking not just about results, but about belief, resilience, and the process of becoming a better athlete with each match. She talked openly about adapting to conditions, managing in-match adjustments, and the confidence she draws from repeatedly battling among the world's best. These insights revealed a player who is not only skilled but psychologically sophisticated, someone deeply attuned to the rhythms of her performance on the global stage. More than a tournament, a story of growth. So what makes Pegula's 2026 Australian Open run amazing? It's not simply that she reached her first semi-final in Melbourne, although that achievement alone would satisfy most professional aspirations. It's that every match, every moment of adversity, and every instance of self-reflection converged to tell a broader story about who Pegula is as a competitor. This tournament highlighted several key themes. 1. Evolution of identity. Pegula has long been one of the most consistent players in women's tennis. But consistency alone doesn't guarantee deep Grand Slam runs. At Melbourne Park, she showed that she has evolved from consistency into contender. She wasn't just there to fill a draw, she was there to challenge, to push elite players, and to demonstrate that she belongs among the game's elite on the sport's biggest stages.